Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Spencer Bailey here in Vero Beach, Florida, and I'm in my backyard right now. This is going to be a little bit different video. It's going to be a little bit more personable. I am, in my t-shirt, hair down, enjoying the beautiful day here in Vero Beach, and I want to go over the top 5 reasons why I chose Vero Beach to settle down in. It's going to be a very informal video. If I stutter, stumble, say a lot, I apologize in advance, but or if you hear the chickens in the background, my mistake as well. But I wanted to get to a little bit more personal video for you guys and go over really why I chose to settle down here in Vero Beach. So without further ado, I got my list here. Let's go over the top 5 reasons why I personally, my opinion, why I moved here to Vero Beach. First one is going to be the price point for how close we are to the ocean. So from here, I'm about a 15-minute drive to the ocean, about a 10-minute drive to the river. I just don't know too many other towns, states, cities in Florida or even in the United States that really can say that you can get, depending on for your needs, the average home being 300 to 400,000, you can get something really awesome here and be that close to the ocean. If you go down to, Port St. Lucie and all those places, you're going to pay a lot more money and you're going to be a little bit further away from the ocean. Taxes are also just a lot more insane down in Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, that area. Indian River County is actually very reasonable on taxes. So that's just another, icing on the cake why I moved here. So the price point for being so close to the ocean, it's just opens up a whole nother lifestyle that you have. And that's really my second reason. I'm going to kind of cruise through them. And this kind of piggybacks off my first point. So the first one being the price point for how close we are to the ocean. And my second point for why I moved here is just the overall lifestyle that you can have at that price point. I tell my friends and my family and people who want to move here all the time that an average weekend for me is someone else's dream vacation that they're spending thousands of dollars on. And let me just give you an example. And I've said this in another video. So just the other day, average weekend, we had the 4th of July, we had Memorial Day. Both of those days I spent out on the boat with my family and friends, catching fish. Imagine a day like this. I'm gonna put out a very basic day that we could have at any given weekend. It doesn't need to be Memorial Day or 4th of July. And a lot of times it's just a random day in August or a random birthday or anything like that. Really, it starts out by meeting at the boat ramp, getting on the boat, getting on the water. You get onto an island. You go to the sandbar, you do some fishing, you go out on the ocean. You do all these things that the lifestyle really allows you to do around here. So when you start doing those things, it's so fun. And the last time I went out on the water. We dropped the ladies off on the island. They were all suntanning, having a little margaritas, listening to Jimmy Buffett. The fellas did some fishing. We were lucky enough. We caught, I'll put on screen here, we caught a gag grouper and a red grouper, I believe, if my memory is correct. And we also caught a mahi-mahi. So in 3 days, we had 3 awesome fish that we could fillet up and eat. What we did then is we drove right up to Captain Hiram's, where you can unload, you can pull up in your boat. You get off your boat on the dock there. You bring your fish there. You can fillet them at the dock there. And Captain Hiram's in Sebastian, albeit, they can cook your fish for you there. So you bring these awesome fish. Everyone's looking at you, and you can really have this awesome experience. You're out on the boat. You're having a few drinks. You come back for a nice meal. You could come back to a nice backyard like this and cook out with your family and friends and just have a really awesome day that, if you're going to charter a boat, that's going to cost, $1,000 a day to get a charter to go out fishing for you and just things like that. So if you can afford that lifestyle, you can get a decent river boat down here for, I'm not a boat guy, but, maybe $5,000, $8,000, you can get a decent little river boat. So you don't need a big yacht to enjoy the lifestyle we have down here. But that's just an average day, going out on the water, going out to the sandbar, going out to some restaurants on the boat, just pulling up on the boat. Just an unbeatable lifestyle. I can't believe more people haven't figured it out. So it's kind of our little kept secret here. So those are my 2 points so far. Just the price point, being so close to the ocean, and the lifestyle that we can have being so close to the ocean, fishing, nature. The Indian River Lagoon has been designated one of the most biodiverse estuaries in all of North America. So you go there, you're going to see the most plants, the most animals, the most insects, the most bugs, the most everything. All the things you love, all the things you hate, all of that is going to be in the Indian River Lagoon, one of the most biodiverse estuaries in all of North America. And you can get that right here in Vero Beach. Unbeatable. All right, so my third reason, this one's a big reason for me, and it might date me, but I'm 28 in a few days. My birthday's August 1st, and I plan on raising a family here pretty soon. And I think Vero Beach is a great place to raise a family. Without getting into it too much, there's not a whole lot of shenanigans going on here, and I have to be careful with what I say as a realtor, because I can't steer people and all that kind of stuff. But call up the local police department and ask, how the crime rate is here. I think you'd be surprised at how little is going on here. There's been an increase recently just with people coming up from the south and Vero Beach getting more busy, but in general, it's just a small town. There's not a lot going on here. It's not like you're in Miami, and I think people will feel really safe here, and I feel really safe here, and that's a big thing for me and my family and I. My wife, she's 4'11", I'm 6'2", so I want some place where she's going to feel comfortable walking out at night too. And aside from, teenagers being teenagers at night and maybe stealing something and breaking into cars, there's not a lot of really hardcore crime, a lot of violent crime here, a lot of petty stuff, nothing that I'm worried about. So that's my third reason, raising a family. I think it's a great place. The schools here, I'll be 100%, from 6th grade to 12th grade or 7th grade to 12th grade is not the best, in my opinion. I went to Sebastian River High School here for a year, didn't really float my boat. Of course, I was accustomed to, at the time, schools in Minnesota, which were 1,000 times better. Kids were way more respectful, everything. It was nuts. So maybe that was just Florida schools in general, but I didn't really have the best experience at Sebastian River High School. However, that being said, schools leading up to high school are really good. We have A-rated schools around here for kindergarten, preschool, middle school, all that kind of stuff. So that is the flip side of it. And once you do get up into the high school range, you can have a private school. There's also other options besides, public education, Vero Beach High and Sebastian High. But overall, I think it's a great place to raise a family. My next 2 points kind of piggyback off each other. The first one is going to be, it's a small town vibe, and that's what I'm used to. In Minnesota, I grew up in a town of 372 people. Actually, no, sorry, it was 175 people. Zumbro Falls, Minnesota. Shout out to 507 area code up in Minnesota. Very small town, very rural. And to put into perspective, I had a 5-acre cornfield in my front yard. Not many people can say that. And I know a lot of people, especially in Florida, they'll say, oh, I'm country, I'm this, that. They're not. There's people behind me that drive this little trail here, and they're 4x4s, and hey, I'm not trying to hate on them, but they're acting all country, and it's like, man, you guys don't know country. But that's neither here nor there. We call that all hat, no cattle up where I'm from. It's all cowboy hat, but they don't have no cattle. Hey, not trying to hate, but anyway, that's what I'm used to. I'm used to a small town. The town that I went to school in was 5,000 people. My graduating class was, I think, 80 people total. Very small town. I like that. I think it's tight-knit. I think it fosters good morals. I think it makes people accountable for their actions, because most people nowadays, in my opinion, you go to Miami, you don't give a crap. People don't care what they think. And that is good and bad. If a population can really degenerate when no one cares what anyone thinks of themselves, so everyone's just the lowest version of themselves every time. So I like that in small communities, in my opinion. It seems to kind of keep that standard maybe a little higher, and just keeps everyone tight-knit. Everyone, everyone's not in your business, but everyone knows families and things. And you want to have a good family name. You want to represent you and your family well in a community, especially in Vero Beach, places like that. You don't want to make necessarily a bad name for yourself in a community like this, because it is small. There's not a million places that you can go out and have a night out. There's not a million trillion places that you can go where you're not going to see the same people. So I think it overall is just a small town. That's what I'm used to. And it kind of piggybacks off my last and fifth and final point. And that is, it's a small town with small town limited growth. If you Google right now, the Vero Beach population graph, it's very, very steady. Not a huge boom in growth like we're seeing in places like Palm Bay, Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie. Imagine moving to a place and then 5 years from that time, it's a completely different, congested area. Not a place I want to live in. And imagine living in a place like Port St. Lucie, and then all of a sudden a master community with thousands and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of homes is being built. Tradition being built in Port St. Lucie right now. Just adding so many homes to such a small location, and the prices are just incredible. It's just insane. The taxes are insane there. you know, hey, I like Port St. Lucie, but you need to have a little bit more money in your pocket, in my opinion, to live there, because the taxes are so expensive. And sometimes the home, depending on location, of course, all of this is location based, but the home can also be a little bit more expensive as well. To put into perspective, this home that I bought in front of me, a D.R. Horton home in Vero Beach, non-HOA. I bought that for $343. When I was looking at the same time, the same floor plan, Cali model, 4-bed, 2-bathroom home, 1,828 square feet, the exact same house in Port St. Lucie, I think was running $500,000. That's a difference of $150K. That's a lot. And someone like me can't afford that. So I moved to Vero Beach, and honestly, the lifestyle here, all these other points that I just went over, that's what drew me here. In Port St. Lucie, you're not going to get limited town growth. It's just rapidly expanding, and you can't really feasibly tell what's going to happen in the future. It's not a small town. It's probably not the worst place to raise a family. I mean, Port St. Lucie is pretty awesome, and the lifestyle is awesome there too. So not harping on there, but for me, Vero Beach is where I settled at. Those are the 5 reasons. I'll go over them again. Price point for how close we are to the ocean. What other towns, and let me know, I'm genuinely curious. I'm not saying there is none, but I'm curious what other towns in Florida offer this lifestyle, and you can get a house, in the $300,000 to $400,000 range. I don't know any other towns. Of course, I'm not a realtor in any other super coastal towns on the West Coast or whatever that. So price point for being so close to the ocean, the lifestyle that it supports here, the nature, the outdoor. Look at this beautiful day. I have a nature preserve behind me. Just to give you an example, I have a nature preserve behind me, nice big backyard, no neighbors, nice big fence there. Got my chickens. I got my, tropical lush theme going on. And that's what I like. And that's what you're going to get in Vero Beach. You drive down a street in Vero Beach, palm trees, traveler's palms, lush. You don't really get that. And that is another point. I'll just go ahead. That's my 6th point. Hey, there's a bonus one for you. It's just so lush. It feels like you're in South Florida, baby. It feels awesome. It feels tropical. It feels like a coastal town. And I'm not trying to dissuade anyone, but like if you go up to Sebastian, for example, it's like a big neighborhood. There's not a whole lot of lush palm trees and that you get in Vero Beach. And, I have a listing right now in the Vero Beach Country Club. Drive around that area and tell me what you think. It's just beautiful. Custom built homes. Everything's lush, beautiful. The trees, palm trees. It's just so beautiful. So that's another reason. So if I didn't go over them, let me go over again. Price point for how close we are, the lifestyle. I think it's a great place to raise a family. It's a small town, and it's a small town with limited growth. And I think that's very important to me. I want to know what town I'm going to be living in 5 years from now. I don't want it to be completely different. I don't want it to get congested. I want it to stay relatively the same. I think that'll also help with resale value in the future. And, the 6th bonus one was, it's just lush. It feels like South Florida. You're kind of in that area between, you're not South Florida where it's so hot, so humid. You're not in that North Florida where you're not going to get, super cold winters. When I was in Gainesville, it froze a couple times, and that's not good for my plants back here and my lime trees, my mango trees and all that. So, this was just the right area, right latitude, right longitude for us. And yeah, hopefully you like this video, guys. Like I said, I kind of was ranting, a little bit more personable, no edits, one cut. It's harder than you think. It's easier said than done. Trust me, getting on this camera and not saying one dumb thing, at least for me, is a little bit hard. So anyway, guys, hey, appreciate you guys sticking with me. If you guys have any questions on moving to Vero Beach, Sebastian, Treasure Coast, really anywhere on Florida's East Coast, give me a call. I'd love to help you out. Recently, I just put 4 subscribers into homes last month, and they love it. They're so excited, and I'm so excited for them. So if you want to be one of those, let me know. I'll leave my information on screen here, guys. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Drop your comments down below. Like this video. I really appreciate that. It helps me out a lot. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, reach out if you need anything. With that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.